last time we talked, you were talking about, becoming a better man and finding out things about yourself and your relationship with your daughter. It was like one of those like, ooh, I was like, Common is ooh, he's that guy. I love where he is. Now we're in the midst of a period of time. You're sitting literally in the seat that Nikki Giovanni left. You're sitting in her aura. She was just with us. Yeah, man. I don't know how you follow her, but we're gonna work it out. We're gonna work it out. I'm still still recovering because she dropped a whole lot of gems on these airwaves. But we're in this period of time, and I feel like, for many artists are getting involved in politics and they're lending their voice to things, and it's like, why now? Why haven't you been doing this all along? How do you look at the folk that are out front now, calling for folk to not vote or calling for folk to withhold their vote and all of this other back and forth that's happening? Where do you sit on this?
I feel that I definitely understand that everybody should be able to express themselves. I do think it's a productive time to express yourself, and I don't know how productive it is to tell people not to do something, that actually is empowering to them. But everybody is entitled to feel how they feel. So you know, I got respect for Ice Cube. I got respect for, Kanye. These are people that I know and my brothers. I don't always agree with everything that they may say, but I still respect them. That being said, I think we have to keep our eyes on the prize and be focused to know that what voting does for us is it creates an environment where we've exercised our power and our thoughts to establish a system that represents us. So for me, it's not about like, oh man, you belong to this party or that party. Look at the candidates and know that, like, understand that these candidates is people down the ticket that actually come from where you come from. People in that's running for president, like Biden and Harris, that actually are taking into consideration what's going on with the black community. And obviously with Kamala Harris being a black woman, Joe Biden is naturally going to be informed on certain things that's going on with our community just by conversation. But criminal justice reform, creating black economic justice, those are things that I'm hearing in the plans of Biden and Harris. So that's why I support them. And then it's like, for me, I vote in Chicago. I know it's a state's attorney named Kim Foxx, who's from Cabrini Green, who really has done work to remove some of the sentences of people who've been in jail a long time for selling marijuana, which is legal in so many places. Like, also, she's not going to get a case on her desk and just look at it and be like, it's a black boy, I'm just going to throw him away. That's not going to happen. So we elect those people. So I'm saying to those who say don't vote, man, we make decisions. You made the decision to allow Breonna Taylor's killers, to not be prosecuted because you, people who live in Kentucky, elected that attorney general. And if you didn't vote, you elected that attorney general. Now, the contrary to that is in Minnesota, when George Floyd was killed, the people who are elected officials made a decision and said, this police officer was wrong and we're going to put him on trial. That's an elected official. They took money from programs that the police were doing and said, we got to change this. So that's the difference, but it's all still affecting us. So that's what I say to those. I know, Karen, I took a long answer for that, but it's something that's in my heart that I really want to say to us as black people, black men, black women, and people, like just people like that. Man, this vote is truly a way to empower. It's a joy in voting. It's something that you could celebrate within yourself to know you reached out for someone more than just yourself. And even with the hurt and the anger that you may have felt, like, man, I ain't been a part of this system, because I felt that before. I didn't vote when I first was eligible to vote. I had to understand what this process meant and how it was affecting my life. And anytime I could say I care for my people and I don't vote, then I ain't showing that care. I'm not being part of the action. And that's one thing I love what you said from the beginning of the show. It's action. It's like we speak it, but we act on it. Because without acts is really nothing.
That's unfertilized seed is what it is. We're talking with Common. You could talk all day as far as I'm concerned, because what I'm hearing is that there is an evolution, that there is, when you know better, you do better. And I feel like there are a lot of people speaking out of their ignorance. And then when you challenge them, you're a sellout. When you challenge them, you're in the pocket of a Democrat. They're paying you. Like, why can't you sit and say, I might be wrong about this? Maybe I'm not seeing the full spectrum of what it is that I'm talking about. I feel like there's a lot of ego in the way of change and growth, that people rather be wrong and strong than to sit back and say, I might need to learn a little bit more about this civic engagement. Maybe I'm not seeing. This is not a difference of opinion. This is about knowledge versus ignorance. And I feel like there are people who are basking in ignorance right now to our detriment as a community. And I don't know how to fight that because it's frustrating.
Well, I think, Karen, the best way we fight it is to continue to work harder to do what we're doing, to encourage and support people. And I still feel like I listen to individuals who I may not agree with, and I still, speak my piece, but I listen to them. But I also focus on the people that are open to change and the people that are looking to change, and don't let things distract me from like what can happen. It's like running a race. If we're running a race right now, when you're in a race, and if you are in the lead, or even if you're not in the lead, but if you are in the lead, there's no way you get close to that finish line and you start looking to the side. That's a great way for a runner to lose a race, is to start looking up other places. And to be honest, some of the talk and some of the distractions is having us look to the side, where we just got to focus on encouraging more people, say a prayer for those people who may be ignorant, and keep it moving. Carrie, it happened to me the other day. We were out in Jacksonville, Florida, canvassing, knocking on doors, finding people who hadn't voted, who didn't think they could vote, and young men who were registering that, like going to vote that day because they found out they could, and just were open to the process. But on my way back to the car, it was a woman that stopped me and wanted to say, hey, I'm a Christian, I'm pro-life, so you know who I voted for. So she was trying to let me know she voted for Trump. I wouldn't go combat her for that. She could vote who she wanted to vote for. But the person who I was canvassing with said, man, don't even engage in too much back and forth. We got a mission. Just say God bless her and let God handle that. That ain't your job right now. So I think what you said is important, Karen. Like ego, if we got to do this humbly like this. We got to serve. We got to be servants right now. And servants are not going to sit there and I'm not going to go back and forth with you about something. If you got an opinion, I respect that. I'm always going to honor that. Even if I don't agree with it, it could be the worst thing. I'm agree with it. But I also ain't going to give you too much energy because I got things to do. So that's been my approach. I hope, because you're doing the work. You're a microphone. You're speaking to a lot of people, and you do the work and you care. So I don't want them to get us out of our focus. Eyes on the prize.